There are a lot more people working from home now than there was a year ago. I know in my home, there are more of us around all day, every day. Sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes not so much, right? Well, judging from all the new students enrolled in my online puppy training class, a lot of these people got new dogs. Working from home may seem like the perfect scenario when you bring a new puppy into your life. And it does have its advantages, but it's not easy peasy. In today's video, I'm going to share 7 tips on working from home with a puppy. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Before I jump in, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up to let me know you're watching and the subscribe button so you know when the next video comes out. Alright, let's talk all about working from home and your puppy. It would be really nice if you could put your puppy down for a nap while you got your work done, and magically he would sleep at that exact time that you needed him to. Just like with babies, that doesn't always happen. We have to do our part to try and create the right environment and the schedule so our puppy's needs are met when we can't attend to him. Let's jump into my number 1 tip on working from home with a new puppy. Manage the space. Yep, this is going to be so important that you set up your puppy's crate and the pen and even the outdoor area for the best possible outcome. If you haven't seen it already, this video here can tell you all about one possible setup for your puppy crate and pen. Remember that the crate doesn't have to be secluded or in one area where there isn't any traffic. We want the puppy to learn to sleep and rest no matter what activity is going on in the home. But at the same time, we don't really need him right next to us. I would not recommend having the crate in the same room as your work. A little separation between you and your puppy is a good thing and can help him learn to be independent. Now, the most important part of choosing where to put the crate is how easy is it to get out to the potty spot. This is going to be a well-worn path, so you're going to want to make sure it's as simple as possible. Now, the puppy pen is an enclosed area for the puppy to hang out in while he's awake, but when you can't supervise him 100%. This is a great place for him during some of the time you are working, but you do have to do the pre-training so he learns that quiet and calm behavior is what you're looking for. And you'll definitely need to make sure he's had proper exercise and potty breaks before going in. Keep in mind that a puppy in the pen is more active, so his potty breaks will need to be more frequent. Puppies in pens don't magically keep themselves busy. You'll want to teach your pup to self-entertain, but it has to be done gradually, with some engagement from you and sometimes when he's left to play by himself. It will be important to pay attention to your puppy and learn what toys he enjoys the most. This video here can tell you all about some good toys that we like. Just remember that your puppy is his own sentient being and he may have his own ideas of what is fun. Speaking of toys, they can get old and boring after a while. So for the best results, swap them out every couple of days so they keep their novelty. Now, another area to mention will be the outdoor potty area. What does this have to do with working from home? Well, the better your puppy understands that outdoors is for potty, the faster your outings will be. The outdoor pen is discussed in my latest video all about managing the environment. You can see it on my YouTube channel. So now that we've discussed all the places you'll want to have set up for your pup, maybe you're wondering where in the house to keep them. Maybe you're asking, Michelle, tell me if the pen should be in the area where I'm working or should it be in another room? The answer is yes. Wait, did I just confuse you there? Let me explain. It's good for our puppy to be near us, as dogs are social creatures and they do love to hang out with their favorite humans. So having the pen close to you so that you can engage from time to time and keep an eye on your puppy is a great thing. But at the same time, we want the puppy to spend some time in the pen away from you when you are home but not engaging. This is how they learn to be more independent and not dependent on you being in the room for their happiness. It can be hard to know what's best for your puppy. Maybe they're more of the independent type already, and a little human companionship is great for them. Maybe it's the opposite, and you actually have to set up times where they learn more independence. This is why I can't tell you exactly what's best for your dog. Now, in my online course, I teach my students how to understand their own dog's body language and what they're trying to communicate. This allows you to better meet your dog's needs and develop a strong bond. Okay, time for my next tip on working from home with a puppy. Get on a schedule. So, following a schedule is so important for any new puppy owner. This helps the most when you're potty training, but in general, puppies learn from consistency and routine. So, a schedule is great for you and pup. Knowing his natural nap times is helpful, and you can build on those. But at the same time, you can definitely adjust the schedule to better align with your working hours. To learn more about the schedule and how to set up one based on the age of your puppy, check out this video here. But definitely remember that if you're expecting your puppy to play independently and even sleep at specific times, you'll have to make sure all of his needs are met. This means he's been fed, he's had one or more potty breaks, he's even had some physical exercise and mental exercise too. This could come in the form of some training games or canine enrichment games. All right, here's some quick math for you to factor into your schedule. Puppies can hold their bladder for approximately 1 hour per month of age. So this time frame will be less if they're more active and more if they're asleep. So you will definitely want to evaluate your schedule and make sure you can adjust your work time to those potty breaks. The more your puppy has accidents in the house, the harder it will be to teach that outside is the potty spot, not inside. Even if your work schedule varies by the day, it is better if you can keep it consistent, especially while your puppy is young. This means wake at the same time, meals are at the same time, even break times at approximately the same time each day. This will help your puppy know better what you expect of him. All right, let's talk about exercise. That's my third tip on working from home. Okay, exercise is so important for all dogs, especially for puppies. If you spend any time in my Facebook group, Puppy Training with Michelle Lennon, you might have seen this graphic. This concept is about how stimulated or tired your puppy might be and how that affects his behavior. You definitely have to try to work out his exercise plan to hang out a little more in the middle of the battery level, where his focus will be better and he'll be able to better control his impulses for things like biting and whining and barking and other things that humans find frustrating. Remember that exercise can take different forms. I have 2 different videos here on this channel about exercise. Of course, we are all picturing the traditional exercise where we leash up our pups and we go out for nice walks. That's great, but sometimes that's not reality. Whether it's vaccinations, or maybe weather, or even the time of day, or maybe your puppy is still learning how to tolerate a leash and you're working on walking skills at home. Sometimes you just can't head out. Training is a great way to engage your puppy and drain out some pent-up energy. And working through a few of the fun training games that we offer in the course is a great way to break up the day. And if you follow it up with some play with your pup, studies have shown that he'll actually retain that information even better. If weather is getting in your way of getting out and going for a walk, try to come up with some other fun things to do that can burn off that energy, including a long leash in the backyard, a fun game of tug, gentle while they're still growing, and fetch, and even chase the human. But of course, never chase the pup. Alright, just because it's cold and snowy doesn't change your puppy's need for exercise. And if you want him to settle quietly while you teach that online class or host that Zoom session, well, you'll have to drain out some of that puppy energy first. Okay, on to my next tip. Let's talk about what he can be doing in that puppy pen when you're working. So many people in the online puppy course like to ask me, Michelle, what are your favorite toys that will keep my puppy busy while I work? Oh, if only it were that simple. If only there was a magic toy. Yes, there are some that might work better than others for your pup, but this will depend a lot on your puppy, and especially his age. But it also depends on training. Tools can't substitute for training, and even playful pups need to be taught how they can play with things. This is one of my favorite toys I recommend a lot. It's called a Bob-a-Lot. but some pups get scared of it and bark at it. That's okay. That doesn't mean that you have to toss it out. You might have to get on the floor and teach them how to play with it. Many toys that keep our puppies engaged do involve food, and that's just because all dogs are food motivated. If they weren't, they would die. But some are more food motivated than others, and we usually find that young puppies or those that are new to the home are not always keen on treats just yet. You'll always want to watch the food intake and make sure that his overall intake for the day, including from the busy toys, is appropriate for his age and size. Any treats that are included in these toys should be no more than 10% of his daily food intake. We don't want any overweight dogs. That's not good for their health. This video here on puppy toys can give you some other good ideas on toys that your puppy might like. But remember, it's up to your puppy to determine what are the best toys. This video here is also a great one where I go over all the different puzzles and fillable toys like Kongs and Westpaw Topple and more. These are great options for the puppy pen or even the crate. And if they are frozen, they can really take your pup a while to get through them. All that licking and the smelling, it's exhausting. Then it's time for a nap. Perfect. Did you hear me say that tools are only a portion of the equation? You can't just buy the right things and expect your dog's behavior to magically be what you want. It takes training. Now, in the online course, I do have over 50 videos that do teach you how to teach your puppy some excellent manners, such as impulse control and leash walking, how to greet guests, and how to be well behaved around furniture and other exciting things in the house. These games are short and they're fun for the puppy and are an excellent way to break up the day. These games can also help build a relationship with your dog, and he'll think he's won the lotto when he's getting this focused attention from you. Having a plan for what games you might do throughout the day is a great way to keep yourself on track. Here's a picture from one of our students. Look how on track they are. Surely you've heard that socialization is important for all dogs of all ages. Remember that socialization isn't just with other dogs. It's with new people and sights and sounds and smells. It is really important that you take your pup to new places, stores and vet's offices and parks, things like that. Make sure to hold your puppy if they aren't up to date on vaccines. Hanging out in the car in a parking lot with a decent amount of foot traffic can be great for positive exposures. We don't want all exposure to new things to involve interaction, which could potentially be overwhelming and scary to a young pup. Proper and positive socialization or exposure has lasting impacts for the rest of your dog's life. The consequences of under-socializing your puppy far outweigh the risks of safely getting out and about before they're fully vaccinated. So this is something you can build into your workday. A nice little trip to the bank or even the drive-thru, or even just a new store that has a parking lot where there are new smells. And a lot of stores are dog friendly. You just have to call them up ahead of time and find out which ones are in your area. Now, this is a great way to provide some excellent socialization for a growing puppy. All right, time for my next tip on working from home with a puppy. Understand their age and adjust your expectations accordingly. When you first bring home a new puppy, they are a lot of work. If you've checked out my sample schedule inside the new puppy starter kit, you will see that you are being kept pretty darn busy with this new little puppy. If you have a new puppy and it's a busy time of year for you at work, this perhaps might not be the best combination, and you'll definitely need to enlist other members of the household to help you out. Puppies can't hold their bladder just because you have a meeting. So take some time to understand what your puppy is capable of from a developmental perspective, and then factor that into your schedule. For more information about expectations, you can watch this video here. By chance, are you seeing all the great stuff I have on this YouTube channel? It's true, you can find just about any topic throughout all my previous videos. And if you love this content, you will love the online course. It's completely different than any of the videos you'll see here on my YouTube channel or in my free resources. Okay, my next tip, leave the puppy home alone sometimes. Wait, what? Did I just tell you to leave them home? Yes, I did. Even if puppy is in a different room, puppies know when you're home. They can smell us, and their supersonic sense of hearing can pick up all of our movements. when we move around. It's important for your puppy to learn that sometimes humans go away for a little bit, and it's okay because they come back. While you're gone, your puppy should be in their crate, where he can rest and he can relax and he can be ready for your return. Now, during this year, perhaps we don't have as many places to go, so sometimes you just might have to take a drive. But it is important to set up these scenarios so that when the time comes when you can go to more places, the dog is not so startled by the new behavior from his favorite humans. Now, before I share my last tip, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, my last tip. Get others to help. I'm telling you this from my own experience. It's hard to have a puppy and a job, especially a new puppy. They have needs. Sometimes those needs don't come at convenient times. It's very important to ask other members of the household to pitch in when they can, and set up times when they can also work on training games and fun play with the puppy. So the bonding with all humans takes place, not just with you. If you don't have more humans in your house and maybe your work will be a little bit more time consuming, consider hiring a teen who is doing some online school, or even a dog walker from rover.com or care.com who can come in and take your puppy out for some exercise at the appropriate time in your schedule. There are a lot of options for others to be involved with your puppy, and this is good for him to have exposure to new people. You want to know what we don't recommend? Doggy daycares. Yes, I know I am raining on your parade right now, but we actually don't love doggy daycares. They tend to not be concerned about the behavior of your dog, and they allow bad habits to form and be reinforced. Puppies often come home exhausted from a non-stop play day and are unable to focus on you or any training you have planned to do at home in the evenings. Definitely while puppy is potty training and you're getting him on a schedule, you'll want to avoid daycares. But even once they're older and established, you will have to evaluate if the daycare you're considering is the right fit. Is it a similar energy level as your dog's natural level? Will the schedule allow your pup to rest at his normal times? Will there be dogs who are much different in size and temperament as your dog? And of course, you want to evaluate safety and cleanliness, as well as if they use the same approach to training as you do. I'll be honest, I haven't found one that I would be comfortable using for my own dogs. If you do, that's great. Most of them just aren't a good fit for the dream dog we're raising here. Okay, do you think you're ready to work from home now? I can tell you, it can be done. If you ever tune into my Monday mornings with Michelle live in my Facebook group, you'll actually see my dog Pickles in the background oftentimes. He's resting quietly on his bed while I'm working. So you see, it can be done. But it does take time and training. This didn't happen right away, and it took multiple training sessions and time for him to grow and have that mental capacity for that task, for him to understand that it's what I expect. And of course, I have to always reinforce when he's doing the right thing. By following these tips in this video and all the other resources I offer, you can successfully work from home with your puppy. Alright, in the comments below, tell me, what work are you doing from home, and what's the name of your puppy who's going to keep you company while you're working?